Y'all see this trend going around? It's the one where the people from the millennial and Gen X generation are just sitting there and it just says what happened. Usually it's to Madonna Live and Tell. And I mean, they're not wrong. I mean, the 80s and 90s were the greatest time to grow up. I mean, the 80s, this was the age of comedy kings. Great fucking movies. Uncle Buck, Great Outdoors, John Candy. The age of Marty McFly and Doc Brown from Back to the Future. Flashdance, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Beverly Hills Cop. Fucking Trading Places. Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy were absolutely awesome in that. The Blues Brothers. This was the era of Dr. Ray Stantz, Dr. Peter Venkman, and Dr. Egon Spangler. That's right, the Ghostbusters. And it had some of the coolest movie cars. Ecto-1, the DeLorean. This was the age of Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, Van Halen. Even the one-hit wonders were awesome. Go West, King of Wishful Thinking. Your Love, The Outfield. And then you went into the 90s. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. Malls. Cell phones had just started coming around. In the late 90s. Times were good. Gas was $1.30 a gallon. I mean, when was the last time you heard a true 90s song? Like Peter Cetera, Restless Heart. Or you know which one I heard the other day? Michael Bolton, How Can We Be Lovers? Bro, I heard that on one of my Spotify playlists. I'm like, this is the most 90s song there is. It's fucking awesome. But I get where they're coming from. What happened? And it's completely simple when I started thinking about it. Greed. Greed from the older generations. You know, corporate America got big in the 80s. They started making money. And that continued into the 90s, which turned into value of profits and balance sheets over family, community, and humans. Mass layoffs. Oh, we have to reduce our workforce. Profits were down. And listen, before I see this in the comments, this is not history. Stick to history. One, bullshit. This is what's known as modern history, or modern American history, or computer age history. See, I got those because they're actual fucking classes in college. That's what this is. And seriously, I don't mean to make anybody feel old, but 1985, which is kind of where I'm reveling, was 40 years ago. 1995 was 30 years ago. See, when you were learning about World War II in the 80s, it was 40 years ago. Number two, I don't care. This is history. The story of how we got here. Greed. Profits over health. Don't need as many people running the water treatment facility if you just start dumping fluoride in the water. We can make food more cheaply if we dump a shit ton of preservatives in it. Red dye number 40. Yellow number 5. By the way, both of those cause cancer. They're illegal in pretty much every modern country. But fuck, profits were good. The fat cats were making money. These are the same people that bought a house in 1975 for $50,000. It's worth $3.4 million today. They're sitting in there dying in it. They won't give it up. They don't know what day of the week it is, your name, or which way is left. But they know their house is worth $3.4 million. See, here's the problem in America. The generation before them, as that generation came of age, they handed over the reins. It's time for a new generation to take over. We're going to retire. You guys take over. See, this generation, they won't hand over the reins. Of course they won't. That affects their pocketbook. So what you're seeing in America right now is the Gen X and millennial generation is taking the power. We are taking the reins. Sit down, old man. Game's over. The days of your pocketbook lining are gone. And you can see it. That's all Doge is finding. They're finding that generation's way of lining their pocketbooks, making a ton of money. They fucked over the American public in 2 generations, but they don't care. They're making money. What you're seeing in America now is the Gen X and millennial generation taking power from them. Telling them that their day is over. You see, they wrote their history. It's filled with greed and corporate America, backroom deals, health crises caused by their decisions. You know the food pyramid's a lie, right? Like every doctor and scientist looked at the food pyramid and said, you're going to cause an epidemic of diabetes. We don't care. Profits are all that matter. You see, Gen X and millennials are pissed. They should have handed over the power, and they're hoarding it. And we finally got up the balls to go take it. Go retire. You see, we're going to write history now. We're going to fix the fuck-ups that you made. We're going to go back to caring about people and family and community. Public health. Greed did it. That's how this happened. Listen, I dive way more into this. The second episode of By the People is up, and I do a whole 30-minute podcast on this. So head on over and listen to that if you want to listen to more. And with that being said, thanks for watching. The best way to support me is to like, comment, or share these videos. The whole 30-minute podcast is up this afternoon. You can find it wherever you find your podcasts. Apple, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon. And with that being said, be nice, be kind, be patient.